I would cry. Oh, baby. Oh, baby. Don't you, oh, baby, baby. Oh, baby, oh. Baby, don't you, oh, baby. Then I would cry. Oh, baby. Oh, baby. Oh, baby. Don't you, oh, baby, oh, baby, oh, baby, don't you, oh, baby, oh, baby, then I would cry. Oh, baby,
Ladies and gentlemen, can I please have your attention? I've just been handed an urgent and horrifying news story. And I need all of you to stop what you're doing and listen.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to The Truth with B. Tatum. We got to fix these lights.
What?
Thank y'all for joining us. I'm excited to be here. Got my boy Echo in the house.
Yeah.
We yesterday we didn't do the show. We wanted to make sure that President Trump got his due credence, so you guys can watch President Trump at the national championship game instead of us doing this show. It's not because of the game. It's not like I wanted to sit at home and watch the game or something. It had nothing to do with the game. It had everything to do with President Trump. So. I'm playing. I wanted to watch the game. I didn't want y'all to be having to be all distracted. You know what I'm saying? Because that game was a pretty crucial win for Alabama, and I don't know, man. The national championship game, in my opinion, is huge. I remember playing college football, and I couldn't imagine the magnitude of that game and that experience for those young people who, worked hard the whole year to get to that point, to win that championship, to have the bragging rights. And then that was a pretty good game. I think it's those lights. Remember, we know when to turn those down. They're off. No, they're not. I don't know. That's what I was. It's the only thing. No, I didn't. That's the only thing I was talking about. It was only the lights. But anyway, we had to do some on the spot stuff going. I told you the lights. So back to the subject at hand. So I think that was a great game. Let me talk about the game real quick. Because although I do talk about a lot of politics, I'm pretty good at football analysis.
He doesn't know anything about football.
Yeah, right. You wish. Football analysis, not just because I played football. I was an All-American football player going into college, and if you ask me, I was one of the best players in college football, but my coach didn't know what he was doing, which is why he got fired. But he didn't know what he was doing, so he didn't play me like he should have. But that's for another show. But the game was interesting because my whole thing, this is like, a lot of people don't like Alabama because Alabama's always winning. Like, people don't like the Patriots. It's not that the Patriots are cheating or anything, but they don't like the Patriots because the Patriots always win. People don't like Alabama because Alabama always win. My whole thing, and I'm not a Patriots fan at all, but my whole thing with Alabama is that I respect good coaching when I see it. I respect good talent when I see it. See, I play ball And I know what the backstory is. I know what they do in the background. Alabama, and I've been telling people this all year, Alabama is doing it right when it comes to developing players. Of course, there's some players that probably should play that are never going to play. They get washed away or whatever the case may be. But they know how to develop their players to the point where you have players who aren't playing who are prepared to play at any moment. That was the problem at the University of Arizona when I was there. They didn't know how to develop players personally, professionally, or on the football field. If you weren't a starter, you got no love, no attention, and you probably weren't very well prepared. At Alabama, everybody's ready to play. They rotate like 5 or 6 DBs. They rotate 3 or 4 running backs. They're not afraid to put a freshman in it. The freshman can get the job done. That's the problem with most people when it comes to who messages me during the show. You should be ashamed of yourself. All right. Messing up my train of thought. But the bottom line is that when you are coaching players and developing players and you're working hard in the offseason, you're working hard during the season, your coaches are putting in the time to take those players aside and develop them, then you're doing something right. You can see that these players are consistent the whole year. Everybody else is up and down. They have flashy times. They have low points. Alabama is consistent. And then you have a freshman quarterback. I've been telling people the whole year that he could throw way better than Jalen Hurts. They put him in the game. He wins the game. How do you put a quarterback in that haven't started a single game this whole year and he win a national championship? It's called preparing your players. It's called believing in your players. It's called keeping your players active throughout the year so they are convinced that they may get in at any time and contribute. When you treat your players, your second string and third string players like trash, they're not mentally prepared to play in the game. So when somebody get hurt, they come in the game, they don't even feel like they're part of the team, and then they get in and they don't perform. When you coach your players and you have good players, they're ready to perform. They're a part of the team. They're just excited for the win as the starters. Then you have a successful team, and your team win the national championship 6 times in 9 or 10 years. Okay, we beat that dead horse. So let's transition to that running back, and I keep saying his name, Scarborough or whatever, however you say his name, Bo. His name is Bo. Y'all know who he is. So the running back, supposedly somebody got him on video saying F Donald Trump. Now he's adamant that he didn't say F Donald Trump. He said Georgia. Now this is my take on it. It sounds to me 100% that he said F Trump. I do believe there's a possibility that he didn't say it and it sounded like he said it. One or two things have occurred. Either this player has the least amount of integrity on the team and he a dirtbag and he said it and he won't own up to it and he's lying to the world, or he actually didn't say it and it actually sounded like he said it and people want to play it up and make it such a big deal because they need controversy. I'm not convinced that he said it 100%. I'm like 99%, 98%. There is a possibility that he did not say that and he said something else and it sounded like Trump. It would make sense why he would say F Georgia. It don't make sense why he would say F Trump when he has had pretty much, I saw some of his tweets, a history of giving credence to people in law enforcement and stuff like that. So I don't know. The man, he could have said it, but I'm not gonna jump down the kid's throat because I'm not really sure. So let's move on past that. And I went back and looked at, because I missed the first part of the game, but I went back and looked at the way they treated Donald Trump. And I thought that it was awesome to see real people. Like let me tell you something. When you look at the Golden Globe Award and you look at the national championship game, you can see the difference in logical people in this country and people who are social justice warriors who virtue signal their entire life. When normal people, everyday working people, when Donald Trump, the president of the United States, like him or not, when he come to an event, people show the man some love. That's what normal people do. That's what voters do. That's what people who pay taxes do. That's what people who voted for him do. That's why he won. Because normal people who may not get all the publicity, they know what it is, and they gonna give a man some credit. Now, these social justice warriors, which I did not watch the Golden Globe, and I will not watch a replay of it. I'll listen to what y'all tell me they said. I can tell you without even watching it to consider Oprah Winfrey. I'm gonna tell you two things. I don't need to watch it to know that if everybody wore black to show some awareness for sexual assault and women's rights, that's completely stupid. And then the other part of it is that if somebody's saying Oprah Winfrey should be the president of the United States, that's stupid. I don't need to watch the Golden Globes to understand those two principles. Two principles. Because let's look at it for what it is. Wearing black does nothing but virtue signal. It does nothing. Like, why do people feel that they have to have an outward expression of a inward cause? I don't understand why you can't just go and do things to help something move in the right direction without having to show everybody your hand. Because if you really haven't done nothing to improve this, wearing black has done nothing for you or nobody else. That's like me saying, our whole staff, we're going to wear black to signify the poor people in this country. What are you talking about? Some people if some people here are contributing to people being poor and they wearing black, it means nothing. If I never go out and actually provide opportunities for people, then wearing black means nothing. And they just want a virtue signal. So what happens is 5 or 6 people actually care and want to wear black. Everybody else just want to fit in. They just want to be cute. Now it's a fad. It's a tradition for everybody to wear black. So now what do? They don't worry about black. They're trying to see who has the cutest black dress. And at the end of the day, nobody even care about the cause. They just care about the way you look. So now somebody want a black Versace suit. And then they worry about the suit and they ain't worry about the cause because they don't care about the cause because they probably the ones raping people as we speak. They don't care, man. It's virtue signaling. I'm not an advocate for virtue signaling. I never known that wearing something is. Listen, I understand if you have a principle and a purpose and you wear a shirt like this. If you have a purpose and you want to do what's right and you're actively doing something and you're wearing a shirt that signifies your movement, I don't mind that. But if you're just doing it because the person to the left and the right is doing it, you mean nothing to the movement. And I'm going to address this, and I'm going to address it every time I get on here. I'm going to say this every time I get on say something about women's rights and sexual assault. Like, I'm so sick of people trying to dog out men and act like men are just these dirty dogs that's just coercing women to doing stuff. There are men who are dogs. There are women who are whores. I just want us to be balanced here. There's people on both sides. There's men who literally go out and looking for what woman they can sleep with or what woman they can use their power to manipulate. And then they do those things. And then like what you call women, like real women, they say, you crazy, I would never touch you, get out my face. That's what real women do. Now, you have other people who say, well, you know what? I really want to get that job. So I'm going to sleep with this dirty dog because I want something in the end. And then when it blows up or you can make some money off of it, you start telling on other people. That's the stuff I don't like. That's the stuff that make me sick. That's why I'm sick of them talking about this without being balanced. I'm going to say this till I'm blue in the face. Some of these men are emboldened by women who participate in the same stuff. That's why we haven't heard of this in the last 40, 50 years. People don't talk about it because they all in on it. Everybody know who Weinstein is. Everybody know what he represents. You're not that gullible and dumb that you're going to accidentally go to his room and sleep with him and not know what the deal is. I just don't understand. I don't feel sorry for you unless that man physically grabbed you and held you down on a bed and raped you. That's different. But if you go to his room because he offered you an opportunity to give him a little pleasure, and you say yes, but you really shouldn't have done it, that's you stupid. You the one. You dumb. Don't act. You ain't no victim. You ain't a victim. If a man tell you to come to his room so you can get an opportunity, real women say, no, I don't need your opportunity. Miss me with that. But if you want to be slutty, you're going to say yes. And then you regret it, and now he a bad guy. No, you a bad guy, and he a bad guy. He a dirty dog, and you a dirty dog for messing with that dirty dog. Don't give me that mess. Man, I'm not feeling sorry for you. You go and sleep with somebody, and then 35 years later, it's advantageous for you to tell people you slept with them. And so you want to tell people you didn't got raped, or you didn't got inappropriately touched, or somebody groped you. You only say it when it's convenient. That means that I don't care about your victimhood. Some people are really victims. Let's save the air for people who really get victimized. Not somebody who sleep with a person and they don't get what they want, and then they saying that they wrong for it. Miss me with that stuff. I'm sick of hearing this virtue signaling. Let's keep it 100. When I was a football player, there was women who run around and try to sleep with all of us because we popular. Oh, yeah, naked pictures, everything. They'll send you stuff. You don't even got to ask. They'll send you stuff they shouldn't be sending to you. All you got to do is show up at a party. They know who the football players are or the basketball players are. Where they coming. They coming, they flying in, man. And don't let you be a superstar. Don't let you be a Thorpe Award winner. Don't let you be a first-round draft pick. Women trying to get a baby by you. It is a real thing. Some of us men have to protect ourselves from these vultures that when you get popular, they coming for you. They want a baby. They want to scam. They want a scandal. They want to say they knew you. They want to say they slept with you. They want the dirt. Oh, wait till you get popular. There's women out here that I'm going to have to tell my son, watch out for these women. Son, they don't like you. They just like your money. They want nothing to do with you. They just want fame and fortune. They can't wait to put you on the news. You watch out. You better watch out. They ain't your friend. Son, they ain't your friend. They just want something from you. Oh, we don't want to talk about these women. We just want to talk about the men that try to do that to women. We don't talk about the women, though. We don't talk about all these women who having babies with these ball players. Have you ever heard of being trapped? Like people are afraid to talk about this. Have you ever heard of being trapped? I know people that have been trapped before. If you don't know what trapped is, that means that somebody either have relations with you, trick you, and say they're on birth control. They're not on their own birth control when they're not. They trick you, or they'll poke a hole in protection and use it on you because they know it's not going to work, so they can have a baby by you. And when they have a baby by you, because they know you're going to be a superstar, because like them or not, they're going to get millions and millions of dollars off of you. That is a career move for a lot of people in this country. And I'm not saying I feel bad for the man. You shouldn't be sleeping with somebody that ain't your wife. You kind of responsible for that as well. But let's keep it 100. There's no way in the world I'm going to be out here saying, oh, women are just getting treated so poorly in this country. I tell you what, look on Instagram. You tell me somebody get treated with thongs and everything, and they making millions of dollars off of this stuff. Oh, poor women. Give me a break. Give me a break. I only care about real women. I only care about respectful women. Women that tell a man no and he forced himself on her. I care about her. Don't give me that I regret it now. All right, let's move on. Somebody gave me a whole bunch of stuff to talk about, and I love that. Let me look on my phone because I took a picture of it. Because the comment, just like I knew, will be gone, and I can't find it. So let me look at something else we talk about. So we talked about the NFL. We talked about Bo. We talked about we've talked about the president. Let's see what else we got on the agenda. But don't get me wrong, man. I just don't like virtue signaling. I don't like the victimhood. I don't like it. I won't like it. I'll never accept it. You work for everything you get. Nobody owe you nothing. And when you mess up, own it. That's all I'm saying. When you mess up, own it. If you messed with somebody, you shouldn't own it. If you were weak at a certain point and you manipulated somebody to get something you wanted and you regret it later, own it. Don't play victim, own it. There's plenty of things I ain't done in my life that I regret. I own it though. I did it. I ain't blaming nobody else. I did that. I was responsible for that. All right, football, Alabama. Let's see what else it say. Hollywood, Oprah. We talked about Oprah. Oh, Steve Bannon stepping down from Breitbart. So I don't know if you heard, but Steve Bannon stepped down from Breitbart. Rightfully so. And the reason I say that, this is what's happening. Listen, this is my opinion. This is not in the Bible. You could take it or leave it. This is my opinion. There are certain people who are out here who are looking for the next great move, the next great thing. And they're willing to latch on, to throw people under the bus or whatever it takes for them to stay relevant or for them to make something happen. And when you do stuff like that, you get caught up and you go downhill. And I'm telling you, people are doing that left and right. They see an opportunity and they say, oh, it's a big opportunity for me to be a conservative. So I'm going to be a conservative today. And I know I'm a liberal at heart. I'm going to be a conservative because it's popular. They do that and their true colors come out. And they get exposed and they go downhill. I'm telling you the reason, listen, you can't, President Trump is President Trump. Everything that has happened has been primarily because of President Trump. Not one person, not one organization can say that they are responsible for Trump being Trump or they're responsible for him being the president. I think people have a hand in it, but at the end of the day, everybody can go away and Donald Trump can remain and he will still be successful. Everybody else just kind of put some ingredients into the recipe. Possibly. Some people think they putting ingredients in and they're not doing nothing but standing around watching. But you cannot roll with somebody, get popular with that person, and then roll on them and think everybody gonna come follow you. If the intent, and now I don't know what the intent was, but if the intent for Steve Bannon to ride the wave with Donald Trump, then eventually think he's gonna separate from Donald Trump and become more popular than Trump and try to take everything that Trump did and say, well, I was the brains of the organization. As you can tell, it don't work. People really don't care that much about Steve Bannon in comparison to Donald Trump. I'm telling you, even people who voted and who was all happy for Steve Bannon. Yeah, Trump got Steve Bannon. Oh, when you turn on Trump, they gonna turn on you because they didn't do it for you. They did it for Trump. That's with me. If I had to pick one of those guys, Steve Bannon or Trump, I'm siding with Trump. Because it appears as if this was opportunistic. This was opportunistic. I don't know what else to call it. So Breitbart about to take a crap because the top person in Breitbart just pretty much spit in his own face. And of course he's going to step down. That's just the way it is. And I think that was the right thing to do, man. I think he got what he got. Now move out of the way, man. Omarosa, she going to get her little book, move out the way. Everybody else who's doing the same thing, trying to stay relevant, trying to stay popular, what they call in the hood, turning snitch. When you just turning on people, and get out the way, man, and go on about your business. You made your little fame, go on about your business. Because you were never in it for the right reasons. If you turn on somebody, you weren't in it for the right reasons. Period. Nobody's going to be able to tell me different. So there's another thing that we want to talk about. Sheriff Arpaio running for Senate. Yes. Run for Arizona. You got my vote. Hands down. You know why? Because I'm sick of these fake, phony, no good, no backbone. If somebody pay me enough money, I'm turning type representatives. Man, can somebody keep it real at some point? See, Sheriff Joe, keep it real. What do you mean you want Sheriff Joe to not abide by federal law. So he did it anyway because he did the right thing. Federal law demand that we hold illegal people accountable. Demand that we hold illegal people accountable. So that's what he did. And then they thank God that President Trump pardoned him, because they want to send him to prison for abiding by the law. I don't care what you say. I want somebody that's going to be a stand-up type person. These protesters, these fools, came to Phoenix in Maricopa County, think they're going to block the freeway. Sheriff Joe, like, you will go to jail. End of story. They went to jail. That's the kind of man I want representing Arizona. I'll tell you that. I don't want no passive aggressive. I'm a career politician. I'm only going to do what's convenient for me. And I got to save face with this person and that person. Man, listen, let me tell you something about me. I'll tell you something about me. I don't care about your feelings. I'm going to be B. Tatum to the day I die. I'm going to be B. Tatum. You don't have to like me. You don't have to watch nothing else I do. I'm going to be B. Tatum. If you like B. Tatum, then you like B. Tatum. If you don't like me, go follow somebody else. That's how I feel. Nobody's going to pay me money to change who I am. Nobody. I don't want your money. If you want to pay me to be somebody different, I don't want your money. I'll be on the corner with a lawnmower mowing grass for $20 a day before somebody can pay for me to be fake. It ain't never going to happen. I don't want your money. I don't need money to be fake. You see, you can't buy a reputation. You can't buy heart. You can't buy that stuff. You can't pay me enough money. I'm just going to keep being me. That's easy. It's easy to be me. It's hard to be somebody else. And if you think you're going to pay me money to be somebody else, you're wasting your money. I'll take your money and still be me. If you think you're going to do that, I'll take your money and I'm going to still be me. And you just lost your money. I don't understand why people in this generation, why people in this world are so fake. Quit being fake, man. Be you. If being you make you and never become a millionaire, then you just ain't a millionaire. Quit trying to be fake. Quit turning on people. You either with me or you not with me. That's what people that are close to my heart, you either with me or you not with me. Period. There ain't no switching. The first time you betray me and you show me your hand, we ain't cool no more. Period. And that's on you. That's your loss. And I think people should value their own personality. That value themselves. Quit being fake all the time, man. I don't like fake people, man. Keep it 100, man. If you ugly, you just ugly. All right. Be real with yourself. If you shy, you shy. Be real with yourself. If you can't dress, you can't dress. Keep it 100. If you broke and you in debt, be in debt and be broke. Keep it real with yourself. Therefore, you can work to become better. Don't be spending $5,000-$6,000 on a credit card that you don't have. Trying to stunt and be somebody you're not. Don't be dressing up to look cool and you know you in your home life look like trash. Don't give me advice when you know you ain't doing nothing right. That's all I'm saying. Quit being fake all the time. Just keep it 100. Somebody says Semper Fi. I'm with you on that. I love Marines. I almost was a Marine. Last year, I forget what last year, the year I joined the SWAT team, I went down there all happy, all proud. I'm going to be a Marine. I refused to go in enlisted. I was going to go in as an officer. And they had to verify my tattoos. Anybody in the military know, especially, I think that it maybe only apply to second lieutenants, but if you're in the military, you know you got to have a PT test. So he had to go and get it approved that I can have more than 5 visible. I tried to make one tattoo, actually 2 tattoos, actually 1, therefore it'd be 5 visible in PT gear. He didn't get back to me, and I think that probably was a sign from God saying, Brandon, I don't want you to go there right now. But if I had to pick a branch, that would be the branch I wanted to go into. I just love how sharp Marines look, man. Marines just sharp, man. I like the fact that they work you hard, and their class A is just on point. And I don't know, I like that. I like that they're considered the baddest branch of the military. Now, some of y'all will argue differently. Some people will say that, the Army is. Some people say, I don't think nobody say the Air Force is, but somebody may say the Army, the Navy. But I'll tell you this, man. I knew some people in the Air Force when I went through SWAT school. They went to SWAT school with us because it's like a training for them. It's a school for us. Man, there was some pretty bad dudes in the Air Force. They were in the Air Force Special Unit or something, and they were pretty legit. One of them ended up getting wrapped though. I'm glad he lived, but he was a bad dude. He was bigger than me, way better shape than I was in. Anyway, somebody said I should run for Congress, run for office. As mad as I get, sometimes it make me want to do it. I think people like the fact that I'm gonna tell the truth, man. You ain't gonna buy and sell me on nothing. I'm gonna get up in there and tell the truth. You talking about? I don't play games, man. I don't have time. And if I gotta play games to be in office, I ain't going in office. I'm just gonna be doing my own thing. Just be honest as possible. I know that there's certain stuff that people don't. I'm not telling somebody lying to you to say keep it 100% of the time. That means tell all your business to everybody. That's stupid. But what I'm saying is that be a genuine person. Be honest about your affairs. If you're gonna bring it up, tell the truth about it. Don't bring it up and lie about it. I can't stand people like that. I can't stand people that you trust and then they turn on you. And you're like, dang, man, you took all that time to be fake. Like, that took a lot of effort and energy. And I guess I'm too lazy to be fake. I'm too lazy to keep up with the fakeness. Like, man, I be forgetting stuff. If I was trying to be fake, I'd be forgetting stuff. I'm not a good liar, man. I'll forget I lied about something. My memory is just terrible. I can't be fake. I can just be 100. That's it. But anyway, what else are we going to talk about? Y'all ask me a question if you want me to talk about something specific. But I think I addressed some of the hot topic stuff. President Trump at the national championship, whether or not that Alabama player said F Trump, I don't know. Somebody asked me what state am I in. I'm in the great state of Arizona. I would say the great state of Texas, but I have to say I grew up in Texas. I love Texas. But, man, I really like Arizona. Like, since I've been living here the last 13 years, I like Arizona. Arizona is one of the most diverse states in the country. The only place that you can have 7-degree winters if you want to and drive an hour away and be able to snowboard. Like, there's nowhere else that's probably that diverse, that close proximity. Obviously because it's elevation, but the winters here are beautiful. I'll never shovel snow a day in my life unless I move to Flagstaff, which is like an hour away from here. But other than that, like yesterday, I rode my bike all through the middle of the day, all day, riding around, beautiful weather. Didn't even get dehydrated because it's beautiful out here. No humidity, you can't beat it. Somebody said don't dog on the Air Force. Man, I tell you what, all jokes aside, and I know a lot of people in the military, they always talk about the Air Force. All jokes aside, anybody in the military has my respect. Anybody. I don't care what you do. You serve in this country. And obviously they have a branch. They have that branch for a reason. And everybody has their benefits in whatever branch. The Marine Corps had their benefits. And all my friends who in the Marine Corps said, don't ever join the Marine Corps. They said, don't ever join the Marine Corps. It ain't worth it. That's what they said. I'm just keeping it 100. They said, man, don't join the Marine Corps. It's just a name, man. We get all the trashy facilities. They treat us the worst. People tell me the Air Force is where it's at. They say, join the Air Force. You get the same pay, but you get all the nice stuff. You get all the nice equipment, nice facilities. When you deploy, it's nicer. It's so funny. So everybody got their own thing, but I think that public perception, I think that most people think the Marine Corps is pretty top notch. Do you think the president will cave on DACA? I'm interested to see what other people think about DACA because we got to do something about this. This is not one of those things where it's like we can just eliminate DACA and then we can deport every single person that's over here illegally and get rid of DACA. Like, there's legitimate things that we are not going to be able to do. Like, even if we got rid of DACA, We will never deport 3-4 million illegal people that's probably in this country. We won't be able to deport them. And if we do deport them, we're going to spend trillions of dollars probably trying to make that happen. So I honestly believe that we're going to have to, at some point, we're going to have to fix this and try to make it reasonable and fair. My whole thing with DACA, and I made a video about this, is that I really do think Congress is going to have to pass a law. We cannot go off of some BS executive order by Barack Obama, just giving people some without anything sustainable. They're not gonna, no path to citizenship. The next president come along can just get rid of it altogether. And Obama knew that. He got your vote and now he's gone, and he knew that Trump could just get rid of it if a Republican got in office. I honestly think they need to find a proper balance. There is people on DACA that literally came in this country unaware. Their parents illegally brought them here. They grew up in this country and they're productive citizens. I'm going to say productive citizens. I think they've gained citizenship if they were born here. But if they were brought here and they weren't born here, they're producing things in America. They have already used all our tax dollars to send them through public schools. And for all the stuff that they've gotten all these years was from our tax dollars. So we have just now paid for a person to make it in life, and they've made it. And some of them are contributing to society in a positive way. How then do we expect to just deport those people? Now, your parents, oh, you don't get no pass. If you brought your kid over here when they were young and they grew up in American culture, and now they're in a university, they got education, they own businesses, whatever the case may be, we need to find a way to help that process work. But for you that brought your kids over here, you are not exempt. You are going back to Mexico, period, or wherever you come from. Wherever you come from, you going home. Your kids that you brought over here, it wasn't their fault. Maybe we can work and see what we can do about those people. But everybody else, you got to go. I don't care. It's not my fault you brought your kids over here. You knew when you brought these kids over here that it was a possibility that you can get them deported. You knew that when you brought these kids over here and you've been here for 5 years and they decided to deport you at that point in time, that was going to be devastating for your family. You knew that before you came over here. That's not my fault. That's your fault. Go back and do it the right way. Now, people that didn't have a choice and you brought them over here, hey, we can try to figure out legislation that can work with those people. I'm for that. There ain't nothing we can do about these people that didn't know what was going on. I definitely would eliminate, I think President Trump did this, put a freeze on other people applying for DACA. That's got to end. That DACA, you ain't nobody applying for it no more. You're done. There is no, you're done. I don't care if you ain't in, you out. You going back. The people that are in, that have been promised by President Barack Obama, that he promised them these things, they have been living here under the premise that they will be protected. So they go on with their lives and they have kids and they create jobs and they do all this other stuff. And now you're going to say, take them back. I don't know. I don't necessarily agree with that. There's enough people in this country that are not associated with DACA that need to go home. I think people get a misconception of DACA because it's not very easy to be, I guess, qualified for DACA. DACA is another level. Like I believe you got to have graduated high school, or you can prove that you're on track to graduate high school. That right there is saying that you can become a productive person. That is more. There's American citizens who won't even finish high school. You have to finish high school and all these other things that you have to do. You cannot have a criminal record or be convicted of a crime, different things like that. Like that means if you can skate through on that, that means you ain't killing it like the rest of these people. You got people that's been deported like 5 or 6 times, got 3 or 4 felonies. You got people who have no desire to assimilate, have no desire to learn English. They have no desire to work a real job. They have no desire to try to go and get citizenship, although they're here. They have no desire. They're going to do their own thing. Well, I tell you what, we got a bus for you, or we got an air flight for you. You're going home. Time to go home. Or you ain't got to go home, but you got to get the heck out of here. That's all I got to say. You could go somewhere else. You could start a life in Jamaica if you want to, but you ain't got to be in America. Bye-bye. See you later. I'll see you guys later. Somebody said, no DACA, we need to follow the law. It's easy to say that, but then what are you going to do about it? Let's say that we scrap DACA completely. Scrap DACA. Then what do you do with all these people who are adult? You're not going to be able to detect who's illegal and who's not. I honestly believe we have to figure out something, because I'm not opposed to saying scrap DACA. What I'm saying is that I'm also not opposed to us figuring something out that's going to be conducive for America. If these people are on DACA, no criminal record, they got a degree in college, they working on a job, that means that they can pay taxes, and they have committed no crimes, then maybe we can find a way to facilitate them becoming citizens or something. You're not going to deport people. You're not going to be able to do that. It's not going to happen. We're going to spend way more money than it's worth. See, for instance, if people get out of their minds they have a flexible mind. If you have a person who's in this country who was brought here as a young kid, they had no idea what was going on. They are now graduated high school. They're now in college and they're working on a job. That person has never committed a crime or anything. Reasonable citizen. Why would you spend $10,000 to remove that person when that person can probably become a citizen and pay taxes? That person is more productive than American citizens who's sitting on the system. So you have to come up with an idea on how to make these things happen. Now, if we can't come to a solution and President Trump says scrap DACA, I'm not mad at that either. You know what I'm saying? It's just that we're going to have to find a way to deport all these people, which is going to cost a lot of money. But I'm not going to cry about that. If it costs us money to follow the law, then we're just going to have to pay that money. It's money that we owe ourselves. It's like a debt. It's like a credit card. We got to pay that credit card off at some point. Obama was running the credit card up. We may have to pay it off. So that's what I'm saying about DACA. I think don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to say that none of this stuff is okay. And if you watch my videos, you know what it is. But so what I'm saying is that it may be conducive to try to see if we can facilitate getting some of these people who are on the up and up, who doing the right thing in this country, to get them some path to citizenship. I just think it's easier to do that than to turn around and just say scrap it, and then you get nothing done, because these people, you can't find them. It's millions of them. You'd never find them. And there's so many more people to deal with. But again, like I say, if President Trump can't come up with something, if Congress don't pass anything, I think that Trump has to say it's null and void. It doesn't exist. DACA don't exist, and these people will be left out to dry, which is not my fault. It's not Trump's fault. It's Congress's fault. If these people want the bill to be passed or a law to be passed, then they can get it passed. If they don't get it passed, then Trump should not do anything about it. Trump should let it expire and it be done, and these people be subject to having to go apply like everybody else. I'm not necessarily opposed to that. So I want to see what some of you guys have to say, because it's very easy to say, oh, illegal is illegal. Yeah, I agree with that. But how do you fix it? I think somebody said DACA should be done, no more. Not a very good speaker, really rhetorical. No case law, quote, LA. I don't know what that means. I don't even know if that's to me. When I worked in construction, was turned down many times due to illegal immigrants. Make them pay to be legal. Hey, that's a great idea. That's a part of the solution. You can say, well, everybody who's on DACA, if you want to have a path to we will give you a path to citizenship, but you gotta pay you gotta pay an X amount of dollars to retain that, to go reapply. They may scrap DACA and make them reapply, but they have some level of upper hand versus somebody who are not a part of DACA, who committing crimes or who've been deported and all that stuff. You can go back home, but maybe they should do that. Make them pay a fine, make them pay into it, and then use all of that money to build that wall. That's what I think. But yeah, there ain't no. People got to be reasonable, man. I think that at some point, a lot of people want to follow party lines or they want to follow rhetoric. It's like you got to be reasonable at some point. And when somebody explained DACA to me, I started realizing that they need to pass a law. If they can't pass a law, then it's gone. Just like anything else. If Congress cannot make it a law, the president of the United States cannot create his own laws. So if Congress can't make it happen, then it's done. I don't know what to tell people. It's done. If they can't pass DACA or they can't find a resolution, it's done. And I think every American citizen should be okay with that, because it's not the president's job to create falsehoods. It's the president's job to make sure they sign it into law. Let's see. So I'm I was assuming, based on the comments, it's April's birthday. I haven't seen her on here. Maybe she's having a good time on her birthday.
Oh, yeah, I saw that.
Oh, there
Yeah,
she go right there.
Yeah, she was there.
I see her right here. She changed her picture then. Well, April, I'd like to tell you, happy birthday. And I hope you have a wonderful day. That's so funny. Everybody on here like friends.
Yeah.
So we getting ready to close out, but yeah, everybody on here like friends, man. I think that's one of the things that we enjoy a lot is we like the way that, the way people are becoming friendly. But yeah, I like to read y'all comments. I may go back and read a few of them. I think that we hit on a lot of topics. If you got more questions, ask us as we close. But ask us a couple more questions. I'll try to answer a lot of them. I don't know what kind of DACA questions or feedback we got from the YouTube. None.
Well, nothing too much that I remember anymore. Wait. Oh, people are saying happy birthday to April from YouTube. So.
Oh yeah.
April.
So everybody on YouTube want to say happy birthday to April as well.
Yeah. We actually got a super chat from, I don't know how to pronounce this guy's name. He's on here all the time. Da Tip. His name, it's spelled DATHIP. No idea how to pronounce that. But he says, thanks, Echo and Brandon. I got my Team Tatum sweater coming to Arizona next week, wearing it.
What?
Yeah.
Bomb.
I said, come visit us, but he didn't respond.
Oh yeah. Come by, see us, man. If you come holler at us.
Yeah.
Maybe
Message us on Facebook or something, and
you gotta message on Facebook. Some people have been messaging me on YouTube, and I don't even know how to even respond.
I don't know how to do that.
I see it, but I don't know how to respond.
Message us on Facebook or somehow get comment on one of Brandon's YouTube videos and let us know. We'll get in contact with you if you actually want to see us. We could probably make it happen.
Yeah, I agree.
I've seen him on here a lot. He's the man. He's good.
Yeah, I see a lot of people talking about this DACA thing and coming up with suggestions like maybe we should make them pay, make them reapply. Yeah, I think that's a resolution. I think that's a way to resolve it. And somebody said, well, what if they don't pay? Then we're in the same boat as we were in if we just got rid of DACA altogether. Like, I think that if we say we're going to get rid of DACA altogether, you on your own, Jack. We're going to pay money to deport you. We make no money that way. I think that what we could say is let's turn around and say, okay, if you want to remain in this country or you want to be, I don't know, whatever plan they can come up with for people who were previously on DACA, then they can pay into it. Pay into it. Then we didn't made money. How we lose then? We made money off of these people. And if they don't pay, then they don't get, they're not a part of some additional program that we can develop or whatever the case may be. But I just think that, I think that I would like to know, I will bring somebody on the show who's a part of DACA. I want to know. I want to know from somebody's perspective, like, what do you think of DACA? I honestly want to see a Trump supporter that's covered under the umbrella of DACA. I want to see what a person says that's actually on it, because I think there's a lot of misconceptions about DACA. Like, I think people didn't know that you have all these criteria that you have to actually meet. I got embarrassed when I found out about DACA, and I was like, well, you know what? Actually, that's not very easy to accomplish. Like I felt less frustrated when I thought of the criteria you have to be on DACA. It's like, at minimum, you got to be a reasonable person, at minimum. So I'm going to find somebody for y'all and see if they can shine some light on what is it like to be covered under DACA? What was the criteria you had to meet? Who are you as a person? You know what I mean? What do you do every day? You know what I'm saying? And so we as an audience, we can meet somebody and then put a face with a situation, because I think a lot of people probably don't even really know what DACA entails. I've seen it. I didn't even know what it was until I had to read it. And then I was like, dang. And then I have a friend who's an immigration attorney who had to tell me what it was. And it really kind of changed my perspective on what exactly it is and what we need to do moving forward. But long story short, America first, man. I don't care about nothing else. And I think that we could probably make some money off of this stuff. Let's see how hard it is to become a legal U.S. citizen. I think this is another thing I learned from my friend who's an immigration attorney. It's not easy to become a legal citizen in America, which could probably be the problem. Like, maybe we should figure that out. And then reasonable people could probably come here legally instead of trying to come here illegally. I don't know. Regardless, we have a law against it, so you shouldn't come here anyway, hard or not. You shouldn't be here if it's illegal. I'm not going to nobody else's country and do nothing illegal, because in another country they probably kill you or something. But I learned that it is not hard. It's not easy at all to become a citizen in America. That it's a lot of stuff that go on in that. It's a lot of stuff that can get you deported. President Barack Obama actually deported more people than any president in history. So some people don't know that. The problem is that when you deport people, if you don't have no resources into stopping them from re-entering, that's going to be the problem. A lot of illegal immigration comes from visa overstays. It's not necessarily crossing at the border. That's another thing that people are not thinking about. I think people, when they think of DACA, I think it's only Mexicans. I think that's when people think of illegal immigration, people being in this country illegally, they only think of Mexicans. And if that is your thought process, then I think we have a problem. I think there's a huge problem of people crossing the border. It is a huge problem because drugs come across the border. People come across the border in the southern states, and they are literally taking jobs from people. But there's tons of people who are overstaying visas and doing all kind of stuff, and they are illegally in this country. There are more people doing that than are crossing the border. So I think that's something we need to actually talk about and look into. It's a misconception to think that illegal Mexicans are the only people that's doing this, and that they're the only people that are a problem in this country. It's like there's a lot of illegal immigration that we need to fix. There's a bunch of people here illegally. There's a bunch of people here from other places other than Mexico. A bunch of people that's taking your jobs that aren't Mexicans. And then we need to deport them. Now, you don't just put people on, okay, briefly about deportation. You don't just put people on a bus and drive them back. What about people that don't live in Mexico that are in this country illegally? How do you then get these people overseas out of this country? How do you deport people from other places in the country that's not Mexico? So it's a huge thing. What about people from Canada that they're here illegally? Okay, I'm gonna have to make a video about this, because I think as a conservative myself, I was really crazy, and then I started really being like, well, I better really look at this, because I just got embarrassed by an immigration attorney that was saying, well, actually, Brandon, this is how hard it is to get in this country. And I'm like, well, how do we get so many illegal people in this country? Oh, because a lot of people apply and then they overstay visas. They overstay work visas, education, they overstay visas. And then nobody goes after those people because they can't find them. And they get deported. Don't get it wrong. Obama deported a whole bunch of people. But just deporting people is not going to be the solution. Let's see. See somebody else. I may bring my friend. I may bring my friend who's an immigration attorney on the show and have her describe. She's clearly a conservative, Trump supporter, so people don't think she a liberal. It's like we need to hear another argument from an actual Trump supporter. Like, and I'm not saying that most of us don't already agree with DACA, but what I'm saying is that there's some informational stuff that we need to know. And I think that we can make a better conclusion. Yeah, most countries, yeah. They say, well, most countries don't want them back. See, that's another thing. When it's time to deport them, what the country don't want to take them back. Like, you know, I have to find out, what do we do with people that country won't accept them back? Like, what do we do? We have to keep them or what? You know, we put them in jail? I mean, it's a mess, man. We should have had this stuff fixed a long time ago. Somebody said they should freeze their assets. People who have a visa, they should freeze their assets until they leave. Yeah, that sounds easier than what it probably is. Somebody said, Brandon, you put anyone on your show that you think is important. Oh, okay. I think that's a good thing. Let's see. Yeah, I'm trying to communicate with y'all about this DACA thing. I see if people saying something about it. Yeah, I'm gonna bring somebody on here who's a Trump supporter, who is a conservative that works in immigration. And this person knows the laws about immigration, knows the process. And she had to call me out on a few things that I was saying wrong. And I was like, nah, man, they should do this, then that. She like, well, it's already against the law to do that. Like, we already do that in this country. And I'm like, we do? Well, yeah, it's not easy to become a citizen in America. It's not. You know, I didn't know that stuff. I said, well, what about DACA? Oh, no, DACA, you got to have this, and this to be a part of DACA. This is a myth. This is true. Let me send you the executive order. I read it, and I'm like, dang, I feel stupid. I probably should read this more because I'm making superfluous arguments about DACA when I should actually read it. So I'm gonna try to see if she'll come on the show, even if I have to Skype her in, because she live in Arizona. Maybe if I have to Skype her in or have her on a phone call, I want her to explain to y'all exactly the pros and cons of DACA and all this illegal stuff. We may make a video about it. Let's see. I think we're done. Oh, we got 2 minutes left. Somebody keeps saying about applying to DACA. Only 3 years for my daughter-in-law, I guess, to become a legal citizen. Dang, the comments are coming. They said most of it's from South Africa. I think we should do a poll. We should do a poll. Maybe people will kind of get it. Like most of these people that we're talking about who are illegal are not just Mexicans. That border is like, it's kind of hard to get over here, to be honest, but they find a way, man, digging tunnels and everything. They own boats and ships and all kind of stuff over here. Anyway, I love y'all. I appreciate y'all watching the show. One or two things are happening. Either people are tired of hearing me talk or they mad at what I said. One or two things. But it is what it is. So I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. I'm going to say a quick prayer before we leave the show. We'll be back tomorrow, same time, 4:30. Make sure you follow me on Instagram. Please. 400 of y'all watching right now. Follow me on Instagram if you don't already follow me. It's Tatum Boy 34. Tatum Boy 34. TATUMBOI 34. The boy is slang. Me and my brother, they call us Tatum Boys, so we use that. And we don't use BOY, we use BOI. It's slang. So Tatum Boy 34 is my Instagram. Go on right now and follow me. Follow me on YouTube. If you're on Facebook, follow me on YouTube, because I post different things on YouTube. If you're on YouTube, follow me on Facebook. I almost forget the URL for Facebook. You can't, like, if you Google Brandon Tatum, you'll probably find everything. Yeah. So if all else fails, just Google Brandon Tatum, you'll find everything. Yep. So, I mean, that's what I did. I Googled
YouTube is just Brandon Tatum.
Which one?
YouTube's just Brandon Tatum. Facebook.com/TatumBug34.
Yeah, Tatum
but
Bug.
You can just search Brandon Tatum on Facebook. You'll find him easy. Yeah. Black and white picture.
Yeah, you'll see me on there. I got like over 100,000 followers. So if you see a Brandon Tatum and you wonder if it's me, look at the followers. If it's a Brandon Tatum with 1 million followers, let me know. I need to find out. Somebody didn't pirated my stuff, but easy to find me. What else am I on? Twitter, The Officer Tatum on Twitter. Follow me on there. I got to start telling y'all to follow me because a lot of y'all probably want to follow me on stuff but don't even know what it is because I never talk about it. So go ahead and follow me on those things. Also, apparel and stuff that we have available, like this cup, other things that y'all have seen me wear, is on patriotdepot.com. The easiest way to get to all of the cool stuff on patriotdepot.com, all the cool stuff, you just do Tatum swag. So you see Tatum swag will be like a combination of all my favorite stuff that's on patriotdepot.com. So just go to tatumswag.com, you'll see it. You'll see all my favorite stuff on patriotdepot.com. If it's something on Tatum swag that you don't see, just go to patriotdepot.com. It could be on there because we got probably thousands of items on patriotdepot.com. So if you're interested, go on there and check it out. It will be definitely will be appreciated. So love y'all. Thank y'all. I'm gonna go into a quick prayer and then we're gonna get out of here. So if you're driving, keep your eyes open. If you're prepared to go into prayer, then just join me in prayer. Lord, we come to you this evening to say thank you for waking us up every morning, giving us new opportunities. We pray for those families who've lost loved ones who cannot say that their loved ones woke up for another day, but we pray that you give the family peace because the person who's passed, if they've been living a good life and if they're saved according to your word, they're in a better place. They're living in paradise right now, somewhere where we all want to be. But we pray for the family because we do have a human element, and we pray for those people that they can, have closure and come to grips with what has happened to their family member. We pray for everybody on this network that you just bless them. We pray for the network that it grows and it becomes popular and that people can get a real authentic message. God, we pray for us that we have proper messaging, that we give current news and we become better. We always grow and make this platform a better platform. I pray right now for the president of the United States of America. God bless Donald Trump to make proper decisions, to have a sound mind, to give him peace in the middle of the storm. Pray that all of the politicians on both sides of the aisle can come together and come up with resolutions, deviating from their own personal beliefs, but coming to do the things that we've obviously paid them to do in order to make this country a better place. I pray for those people who are injured and hurt or suffering from an illness. God, I pray that you see fit to bless them and to heal them in the name of Jesus. I pray, God, that you help us all just become better people and have a wonderful year in 2018, that we love one another. God, I pray that you help us to forgive other people as we forgive ourselves. Pray everybody get a safe travel home tonight, have a dinner. Those who do not have the ability to have dinner, God, I pray that you just send them a blessing, have somebody allow them to have a meal and maybe even a place to stay tonight. We pray all these things in Jesus' name. Amen. All right, thank y'all for watching, man. I really appreciate y'all watching the show. This is a blessing for us. Obviously, we're trying to develop and make sure that we are doing things that are productive. So by you guys watching and sharing and following the show, it really helps us out because we're going to have to make a decision of whether or not we're going to continue the show or stop the show. That's just the way things work. So as much as you share, as much as you watch, will give us obviously a better argument to keep the show and to keep it running. So definitely appreciate y'all. Appreciate the donations, appreciate the shares, appreciate the likes, appreciate the comments. Agree with me or disagree with me, I appreciate it all. And from me and Echo, from the bottom of our hearts, we love each and every one of you guys. We really thank you. And we'll see you tomorrow at 4:30 Mountain Standard Time. If you live on the East Coast, it's 6:30. If you live on the West Coast, I feel sorry for you, but you have to watch the show at 3:30. Especially if you live in California, if you live in Seattle, Washington, somewhere. I'm sorry to hear that. God can still bless you in a state where it's probably going crazy. So anyway, I could talk forever, but I'm gonna end it right now. See you guys next time. Hold the phone.
Ladies and gentlemen, can I please have your attention? I've just been handed an urgent and horrifying news story, and I need all of you to stop what you're doing and listen.